This week on Outdoor Nation TV, it's a season-long pursuit for a buck we call flyer. From bow season to muzzle loader, and finally rifle. It's a full-on cat and mouse game for Jerred, Kristen, and Mason. Don't miss the twists, the close calls, and the season-long grind.
Got him right there.
To see who puts their tag on them. Well, you will just have to wait and find out. Outdoor Nation TV is powered by High Point Pet Food, featuring their zero formula with zero corn, wheat, or soy, crafted in Oklahoma for dogs that deserve clean, balanced nutrition.
This episode's all about the flyer buck. Hunting on our home farm, me, Kristen, and Mason will all have a chance to chase him. The cat and mouse game is going to live on through an entire season, and it all starts with food plots around the first week of September. After going through all the effort of planting these food plots, we didn't get a single drop of rain in about 30 days. So without rain, you're not going to get a food plot to grow, but we were continuing running trail cameras, feeders, and the corn didn't let us down because we had big bucks showing up in velvet. To say we were high anticipation level for the season was an understatement. We had 3 or 4 shooters on camera consistently leading up to the 1st of October. October 1st rolled around and 2 problems. We had hogs on camera, which were running our big bucks off, and also had duties of the business that I own, Deep Fork Productions. We were traveling around the first few weeks of October producing shows, and so we didn't really get to even hunt until later on in October. The buck we call the flyer buck showed up on camera around the first couple of weeks of October, and I'd say that's what we were going to set our sights on. Mason's up to bat with a crossbow, so we're going after the flyer buck. So after a few days of hunting with Mason and his crossbow, we did not have a single encounter with the flyer buck. We seen multiple coyotes, and Mason was wanting to shoot them, kind of had an itchy trigger finger. Fast forward to October 24th, the flyer buck showed up on camera that morning, and he was there in broad daylight that morning. And what we noticed is every time he showed up that morning, that evening he would show up on the same stand. So Kristen texted me earlier that day and said, hey, some of our friends want to go out to dinner that evening. And I really didn't want to go out to dinner because I knew what would happen. And there we are out to eat with friends, and my phone goes off. There's the flyer buck, broad daylight, standing 25 yards in front of our blind. So let's just say I had a good evening, but I really wanted to be out there in that blind with Mason after the flyer buck. And so we run and pick Mason up from school that afternoon. And as we're heading home, I'm getting pictures of 100 yards behind the house on a bow stand that we can't get to because of the wind is wrong.
We were planning on hunting the bird west today, but before I get out of school, a buck we call flyer showed up on our pond camera. Slept in here, it's totally bagged. We're gonna see if we can't get a shot on it.
Outdoor Nation TV is brought to you by High Point Pet Food, Hull and Totten CPA, and Fate and Meats.
Life moves fast. And at First Med Urgent Care, we're here to keep you going. Expert care when you need it most. Quick check-ins, professional service, and immediate attention so you can get back to what matters most. First Med Urgent Care. Fast care close to home. Learn more at firstmed.health.
At Faye Dan Meats, we believe great food starts from the ground up. Locally raised, naturally grazed, and skillfully processed, our meats are as fresh as it gets. Supporting local farmers, serving local families. Faye Dan Meats, quality you can taste. For more information, visit faydan.com.
Connecting the right talent to the right opportunities. Cohesive Staffing Solutions understands healthcare staffing. We're dedicated to placing skilled professionals and rewarding careers across Oklahoma. Cohesive Staffing Solutions, where your next great opportunity awaits. Learn more at cohesivestaffing.com.
This segment of Outdoor Nation TV is brought to you by Fire Lake Arena, Shawnee's premier 5,000-seat venue for sports, concerts, conventions, and community events.
A buck we call Flyer showed up on our bond camera. Slipped in here, it's tally bagged, and we're gonna see if we can't get a shot on him.
Well, there's Mason's first encounter with the flyer buck. Made that scrape about 60 yards out, facing us, then turned around and walked away. He was pretty heartbroken, but 30 minutes later, here comes the hog trotting into the feeder. So Mason does quick work on that hog. It's starting to pour down rain. We got a few pictures, but I wasn't breaking out the video camera in the rain to do recovery on that hog.
It is opening day of muzzleloader, and the buck we're after came through our north food plot, or AKA our dirt field right now, because we haven't had any rain. He crossed this field this morning, bedded down, so we are in here trying to get him to come up out of the bed, because that's what he normally does, where he goes in bed. He comes up that evening. Hopefully he comes up before the end of shooting
shaking. I just knew we had this new buck that showed up a couple nights ago. A big 8 point. I keep wanting to say 10 point, but he's real heavy. Last light, oh my goodness, he came in and then kind of went out of where I couldn't get my gun around to him. And he swung back in, and I got the muzzle loader on him, and Jerred said, "You're at the last minute here." And so he finally came back in, gave me a good shot. Kind of quartered too, but I think we heard him crash, hopefully. Oh my God. My first muzzleloader buck. Oh. Mason's at a football game. It's the night after Halloween. It's just Jerred and I in the blind, and hopefully we can go recover my buck. Just got down out of the blind. We're gonna go just look for some blood at the entry site where he went into the woods, and hopefully we've got some good sign up here.
So as you've seen, really late that evening, right before dark, here comes that 8 point. She put a shot on it, a little lower than what we wanted, but we knew we were not going after that buck that evening. The next day ended up raining all day, and we went in and we ended up finding the buck. But since it was pouring down rain again, I'm just not getting the $6,000 video camera out in the rain. And so we took quick pictures with a phone and was able to get that deer to the processor. With Mason seeing the success his mama had, we're getting back in the blind, going after that flyer buck with a muzzleloader.
Outdoor Nation TV is brought to you by Cohesive Home Health and Hospice, Lucky Day Heat and Air, and Outdoor Nation Expo.
Welcome to Shawnee Feed Center. You want muck boots? We got them. You want Carhartt gear? We got them.
Vet supplies.
We got that too. We've got livestock feed that's made here locally since 1906. Dog food, pet food, we got that too. We got tons of it, literally. Seed and fertilizer, we got that too. We have cone seeders, we have discs, we have rototillers. So come and see us here at Shawnee Feed Center. We have everything that you need.
At Cohesive Home Healthcare and Hospice, we believe care is best provided at home, where comfort meets compassion. Our professional caregivers deliver personalized support, keeping your loved ones independent and safe. Cohesive Home Healthcare and Hospice. Your care, our priority. Visit us at cohesivehomehealth.com.
October 1st is right around the corner, and you know what that means? Food plot time.
Seed and fertilizer, we got that too.
Shawnee Feed Center has made a special blend just for Oklahoma hunters.
It has a great seed mixture, anything from wheat, oats, rye, winter peas, clover, and much more.
From large bags to small, they've got it available today. So go by and see Jason and the team at Shawnee Feed Center.
This segment of Outdoor Nation TV is brought to you by High Point Pet Food, high-performance formulas crafted in the USA for healthy, balanced nutrition.
So muzzleloader kind of came and gone. Here it is back bow season. And my uncle, whose property that we're hunting anyway, wanted to go out and go hunting with his bow. Sun's coming up and we look up and there's a buck. And realize that's the flyer buck. I was kind of like, it never fails. Mason had been hunting this deer all season long, and here he is going to come into 20 yards and eat right there underneath the feeder. But my uncle never picked up his bow. He knew Mason's heart was set on that buck, and so we got to watch him that morning as the sun rose, and just some awesome looking footage of that buck sitting out there feeding, you know, screaming, shoot me, shoot me, shoot me. But it never fails. I even texted Mason. He was at school and he was kind of beside himself. But nevertheless, my uncle passed that buck so Mason could maybe have another opportunity later on the season.
It's probably a lot easier for me to pass on that buck for Mason than it would be for Mason to pass on that buck for me.
Early bow season, muzzleloader and bows come and gone, but now we're getting into rifle season. And earlier that year, we had been invited out to western Oklahoma, to Laverne, Oklahoma, to hunt out there on a buddy's place. You know, there's lots of land, lots of bucks out there, so Mason was very, very excited to head out that way. And so me, Kristen, and Mason hop in the truck and we're headed west.
It was November 21st here in western Oklahoma, and we got set up on a open field here. There's a feeder about 150 yards, give or take. We just got here late last night, and we've got 3 days to get it done. In the mornings, we're gonna be sitting on feeders. In the evenings, we're sitting on wheat fields. Just kind of glass and wheat fields so we can see, and hopefully we can get it done in 3 days.
Well, up until this point, Mason hadn't killed a deer so far, and so as I know him, he gets an itchy trigger finger, and he had a rifle in his hands, and later on that first morning, here comes a nice, beautiful 8-point. But he knew what was in the area. He knew that there was going to be bigger deer in the area, and that was the first morning. So, you know, I'm pretty proud of him for passing that buck up, and so is the guys we hunt out there with. As long as he sticks to his guns, he probably will have an opportunity at a bigger buck. We kept seeing all these deer. I mean, I'm talking 30 or 40 deer out on this big, huge wheat field. And so me and Dusty grabbed the pop-up blind that we had and threw it up and brushed it in right in the center of the wheat field. And we knew that evening, Kristen and Mason were in for a good set.
Outdoor Nation TV is brought to you by First Med Urgent Care, Shawnee Pit Stop, and Cohesive Staffing Solutions.
October 1st is right around the corner, and you know what that means? Food plot time.
Seed and fertilizer, we got that too!
Shawnee Feed Center has made a special blend just for Oklahoma hunters.
It has a great seed mixture, anything from wheat, oats, rye, winter peas, clover, and much more.
From large bags to small, they've got it available today. So go by and see Jason and the team at Shawnee Feed Center.
At Cohesive Home Healthcare and Hospice, we believe care is best provided at home, where comfort meets compassion. Our professional caregivers deliver personalized support, keeping your loved ones independent and safe. Cohesive Home Healthcare and Hospice. Your care, our priority. Visit us at cohesivehomehealth.com.
At Faydan Meats, we believe great food starts from the ground up. Locally raised, naturally grazed, and skillfully processed, our meats are as fresh as it gets. Supporting local farmers, serving local families. Faydan Meats, quality you can taste. For more information, visit faydan.com.
This segment of Outdoor Nation TV is brought to you by Bank First, proud supporter of Oklahoma traditions, values, and community events.
We kept seeing all these deer out on this big, huge wheat field, and we knew that evening Kristen and Mason were in for a good set.
Got him right there, dropped him. There's been tons of activity in this field, does running everywhere, bucks chasing. Had a couple small bucks come in, and then finally this big boy comes in and he just comes right up following a doe, comes about 200 yards, and I lay the hammer down on him. I could not be more blessed to have my hands on him.
Well, congratulations, Mason. Heck of a buck. I know he was excited. That was an awful long shot. After a late recovery, we're headed back home to continue our quest for the flyer buck. So up until this point, pretty much every season in Oklahoma had come and gone, from bow to muzzleloader, rifle, back to bow. And this is now holiday antlerless season. And with Oklahoma holiday antlerless season, you can kill a doe with your rifle. And we knew we needed to take more does off the property, so me, Mason, and my Uncle Jeffery had a plan. We were all going to go to the north part of our property and kill does that evening. Right before we headed up there, I got a video of the flyer buck on a stand that I could bow hunt. And with it still being bow season, I changed everything, sent them up there with no video camera to kill does, but me and Kristen grabbed the video camera and we're headed to the Bird West after the flyer buck.
Mason and Uncle Jeffery are in the south blind. They're probably gonna kill a couple of does. I could still kill a doe this evening with my bow. So we'll sit back and see what happens.
So it's still kind of early that evening. We hear a couple gunshots and we know that they'd put down two good does. And so while they're off recovering those does, I'm staying put. And even though I got does in front of me, it's just a matter of time before I look up and there's the flyer buck jump the fence in front of me and come running into the feeder. Kristen gets the video camera and gets on him. And now the chess match of waiting for the perfect shot is going to seem like forever.
smoothie.
Well, I definitely didn't think I'd be sitting behind this buck this season. It's been a whirlwind of Kristen and Mason after him. Hadn't showed back up on camera in 9 days, and finally he did. Kristen behind the camera. We got Mason, Uncle Jeffery behind it as well. But this ends a chapter for the buck we call Flyer. I've been chasing him all season. I could talk more and more about him, but just a great buck to be behind, especially with my bow. This late season, it's December 30th, only about 15 days left. So we're gonna get this thing loaded up and get it to 160 processing. That was my first bow kill in a few years, and so that felt great. Felt awesome for me, Kristen, and Mason to all get our bucks on the ground in one season. Got a lot of meat in the freezer and a high taxidermy bill, but we're heading into this season with high hopes as well.
Outdoor Nation TV would like to thank these other sponsors. For more information and to watch past seasons, please visit us at outdoornationtv.com.